from downtown Chicago. It's the 2007 Lake County, Indiana Classic presented by the United Way. We've got 4 men, 2 women set to bowl for 2 titles today. We're only a few weeks in, but the Denny's PBA Tour season has already seen some major league highlights. John Rash won the Masters at Miller Park in Milwaukee for his first career major title. Week 2 saw Walter Ray Williams Jr. make more history in Detroit, his 43rd career win. Yeah, baby. Last week in Buffalo, Mike Wolf knocked off Walter Ray for his 3rd title. This week, we're at the 2007 Lake County, Indiana Classic, presented by the United Way. More Denny's PBA Tour action next. Week 4 of the Denny's PBA Tour season live coverage here on ESPN on the U.S. side events. We're at Stardust Bowl 2, Merrillville, Indiana, not far from Hammond, where last year we saw Norm Duke go 14-0 in match play to set a record, defeating Mika Kuabuniemi at the Lake County, Indiana Classic. Here's Ryan Randy Peterson, our entire crew, our first semifinal, as Michael Haugen Jr., a lengthy odyssey his entire career. No titles against Todd Book, who in this very bowling center last year won the tour trials to earn himself a spot on the tour. First career TV appearance for him. Haugen looking for the late tap on number 10. We'll have a 10-pin single pin. Spare conversion for him. Just the 1 TV appearance, Randy, last year for Michael, and it was in this very area.
And it came exactly 365 days ago.
Amazing. Cave Creek, Arizona, just outside Phoenix. North about 25 minutes.
There we go.
And a good start for Michael. Takes care of the 10-pin and has his mark to begin his day. Very emotional time for Michael Haugen a year ago. Speaking of emotions, how about this guy? Todd Book from just outside Pensacola, Florida. First career TV shot comes right now. Crossing over Brooklyn. What a way to start. And he'll shake his head at that. Michael Haugen says, lucky.
That'll get you loose in a hurry. Todd Book, a very interesting guy.
Oh, better than that.
Let's look at our rundown. Haugen booked the first semifinal. Wes, Malott, Chris Barnes, good match up there. The women's final between Joy Esterson and Liz Johnson, a great female champion. $25,000 to the winner on the men's side, $10,000 for the women today. Again, that's high. Look out, and what a split for Todd Book, who on the other lane, Randy, does not make the adjustment.
Well, he wants another ball as well, but right now he's just trying to keep from throwing up on himself. He's so nervous. You know, I talked with him about an hour before air, and I said, Todd, you know, I know you feel nervous. I said, but, you know, that's the fun of sports. The nerves, the anxiety, the anticipation of getting out there. That's what makes sports fun.
Yikes. And just a 6-pin count for him.
Wow. Bug flying around there. So stop.
4, 7, 9, 10 remain up for Todd Book. And an early open frame. You know the nerves, of course, are really going here. He had the tremendous appearance at the tour trials where he won with a 10,063 pinfall and a 223.62 average to earn his exemption.
Right here.
Now coming off the open from Book, can Haugen take advantage?
Come on.
Call that in. But again, that shot is way high and a difficult split for Michael Haugen Jr.
The scores were low all week this week, and the players struggle to get the ball to the pocket early on. The lanes are going through transition. The oil's changing. Michael Haugen right through the heart, leaving the 4-6-7.
Come on, get lucky. Bounce him out.
He was hoping to get one off the back of the deck. Will not happen. He leaves the 6-pin and back-to-back open frames for our 2 bowlers here. This is unusual. But Todd Book a chance to take advantage now of Haugen Jr.'s open. We talked about the struggles Michael has had. This is his 300th career event on the PBA Tour. He's never won. Last year on TV in Hammond, nearby, at the sister bowling center of Stardust 2 here.
How about this time, huh? How about this time?
Calls it into the pocket,
There we go.
and all 10 down. And Randy, that was emotional. He was playing in honor of his grandmother, Betty, who was terminally ill a year ago. She passed on not long after watching Michael compete in that event. He lost to Norm Duke in the semifinals.
Yeah, he's still kind of reeling from last year, but one of the things that he said was he came in this year with a little bit different mindset, and he was going to play to his strength, and his strength is going straight. Come on, yeah! And I got to tell you, one of the hardest things to do for a rookie on the tour, making his first telecast, a guy that hooks it, hardest thing to do when the lanes get tough is to try to make good shots because he knows a little bit left or right of target, and it's going to be a nasty design.
Motel 6 matchup between these two. Each looking for his first career title. First time ever Todd Book has been on TV. And Michael Haugen trying to end that long streak without a championship. That's how they got this far. See how much hook he's using there. Great look from our crew down lane.
He's just glad he didn't get 4 on that shot.
Or the gutter, because they're flirting with a channel here, Randy, aren't they, the big hook?
Yeah, watch how far right this goes. He's going, starting the ball left of the track, all the way out to about the 1-2 board. Very fortunate there, just leaving the 4-7.
Which he takes care of. Randy, what about this oil pattern requires that kind of movement?
Well, we're bowling wood surface this week, and there's a lot of friction. And what happens on wood is the track area comes into play, and that's a worn area around the 8th board, somewhere just right of the 2nd arrow. And when you put the oil pattern down on top of this wood pattern, the track is still going to come into play. The big hook guys get left of it, throw right of it, and some of the guys actually had a hook spot from the edge. I mean, way far out. The straighter guys are going to play straight up 5.
Come on. Yeah! Hey, bro, come here. Come here. I'm not going to need this one. You can have that one, okay?
Look at that. Well, Michael Haugen Jr. It pays to be in the front row, young man. He gets a souvenir. A Denny's PBA Tour event used ball right out of the...
He looks like he's in shock, that poor kid.
Right. Out of the selection of Michael Haugen Jr.
Let's go.
It's like, do I have to give it back?
Right here. Oh, come on, baby. Yeah, Carmen. You like that, Carmen?
He's talking to PBA legend Carmen Salvino, who's from the Chicago area. Carmen comes to many of the Denny's PBA Tour events. And he is here in person to watch Michael Haugen Jr. There's Carmen. Great to see him again. A legend and true gentleman of bowling.
Sitting next to Tom Clark from USBC.
That's right. Tom, a Syracuse guy, by the way. Went to the same high school my kids go to, West Genesee and Camillus. Now lives in Milwaukee, home of the USBC. Come on. Ooh, that hooks a lot. Back end of the oil pattern here and goes way high through the beak again. For Todd Book, who just can't get the look he wants. See his road here. How about Walter A. Williams Jr. going down? Looking for another TV show. Walter had made 3 straight, made the finals last week. 1 in Detroit, another split. No, just a 7-pin count. And the deficit balloons here for Todd Book.
Our Ebonite Digitrack system is telling us that the ball speed with Michael Haugen is about 19 miles an hour, Todd Book 18, but playing completely different places on the lane. 7 board for Haugen, 13th board for Book, and the break point. Well, Todd Book's break point is all the way out to the edge. Michael Haugen's break point is the 6th board. So 1 going really straight, 1 hooking it a whole lot.
Come on! Yeah! There's the hook. And the guy they call Bookham, Todd Book, does strike there. In the round of 16, he beat Dave DeAntremont, who's down 0-3. In the round of 8, was down 0-2 to Walter A. Williams Jr. and won. He's got a big hole here, though, against Michael Haugen Jr. We're underway from suburban Chicago. The Lake County Indiana Classic is brought to you by Denny's. Denny's always works. By Motel 6, official lodging partner of the PBA. By Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com. We're underway from Merrillville, Indiana, not far from Chicago. Lake County, Indiana Classic presented by the United Way. Michael Haugen Jr. a huge lead on Todd Book. First men's semifinal. Welcome back. Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson alongside. Our second men's semifinal, folks, is a great matchup. Wes Malott takes on Chris Barnes and Randy, two guys from suburban Dallas. Real superstars of the sport. Each won a title last year, 1 and 2 in the points race a year ago as well.
They have great, phenomenal seasons. 6 shows between the two of them. Wes Malott 1 win away from possibly capturing Player of the Year. That honor went to Doug Kent.
So we match up the two on paper and see how they will match up later today. Chris Barnes, a couple years older than his very good friend Wes Malott, and where they qualified to get this far. 1-2 in the rankings a year ago. Malott won his first rankings title in 06-07. Chris Barnes last week, suburban Buffalo against Mike Wolf. Semifinal 10th frame. What happened, Randy?
Well, he needed a strike to lock up the match, and he just got through it a little bit too quick and ends up leaving the 2-4-5 and losing to Mike Wolf.
A year ago, though, Chris Barnes did lose to Mika Koivuniemi. Finals in El Paso. A week later, rebounded in his hometown of Dallas and won the event.
He's real good about taking a negative and turning it into a positive. He told me that last week he got the ball into the swing just a little bit early. That's why he missed it, just a pinch at the bottom of the swing. But you know what? He's a great player and one of the best out here. And all great players come back from adversity.
We look forward to that second semifinal. The conclusion of this one, too, where Michael Haugen Jr., bidding for his first ever title, has a big lead on Todd Book, who makes his first ever TV appearance today. Todd, after high school, went into the Navy for 4 years and then really got into bowling at that point. Michael Haugen Jr. from Southern California originally.
Oh, just sit.
Came in high, another split. Wow. Whew. 4, 6, 7, 9 up. How do you approach this one?
Well, you throw it real hard and pray to two of them. Here's the thing. With straight players, what they rely on is hold area to the left of their target. And right now, Michael Haugen Jr. does not have that. Players that throw it straight tend to miss target left. Players that hook the ball tend to miss their targets to the right.
Oh, hook a little, please.
Not enough, Michael. And 2-pin stand, another open frame. So each
man, 8
really
times on TV and you can't make a shot out of commercial.
struggling to find his look here. And the bowlers have collapsed at this point. Now it may be a matter of survival in these last few frames.
And Book, right now, still has a good chance in this match. He's working on a strike in the 6th frame. And with all the splits that we're seeing, every time the player misses the pocket, it's been an open frame.
Hook a little. Oh!
Little light, little lucky.
A good break, finally.
Yeah, he'll take that in the Swiss zone there. And good pin action to get all 10 down for Michael Haugen Jr. and the youngster who got that souvenir. He's got to be happy about that. You know, he's asking his dad, can I really keep this? Really?
Well, nice break there for Michael Haugen Jr. Comes in a bit light, trips the 2-8 out. Right now, Todd Book can really put some pressure on his opponent with a strike in the 7th and 8th frame.
Does hook it up.
Yeah. Dave Ryan,
Tap on the 8-pin. We got a match here.
Dave Ryan, the margin for error right now looks really, really tight.
I'm one up again.
He gets this one to the right spot, and this ball labors down the lane, barely gets into the back to the pocket, and he caves in the bucket for a big double.
Todd told us last night, we spoke with him about this match, that the last few weeks, the night before the TV show, he'll go onto the TV set, which of course is vacant at that point, and visualize what it would be like to be on TV. 3 weeks ago, he was in the 3rd row watching. Last week, the 2nd row. Last night, he knew he was in.
Come on.
So he was there in the 1st row visualizing what it would be like and visualizing shots like that. He said to us, of course, I think I'm going to win when I see that picture, and now he's only down by 3 pins. That was just a 41-pin lead for Haugen Jr. a moment ago.
All the pressure back now on Michael Haugen Jr. working on a strike in the 7th frame.
Good shot right here. Oh, that looks real good right there. Come on, trip it.
Can you believe the 4 didn't go down? Wobbling.
Now you're one up, that's for sure.
And it stands.
Oh, man.
Michael, a year ago, dedicating his run to his grandmother, Betty. His grandfather, back home in Southern California, not feeling well either these days of ill health. There's the 4-pin, but he told us, Randy, a couple years ago was the Tour Trials. That was the big run at this very bowling center. Last year for his grandmother. This year, though, the run is for Michael himself to try to get that first title.
Yeah, he feels it's his time. He's been out here long enough without a win. Right now, he's got a match on his hands. He's been good, real good on this left lane. The right lane has been a struggle, and he has to finish the match on the right lane.
Perfect shot, Michael Haugen Jr. We saw the note a moment ago. He lost to Norm Duke. Norm en route to the 14-0 match play record a year ago.
That is terrible.
That was held in Hammond, Indiana, sister bowling center of where we are here in Merrillville. Two towns are next to each other in suburban Chicago. Night frame. Come on. Looking for a strike, and the foundation frame leaves the 4-pin.
A little bit light the last time on that right lane. He didn't want to leave the 2-8-10. He makes a pretty good shot here. This is a little bit left of the last shot on that right lane, and the ball doesn't hold pocket. Spare here, 3 strikes in the 10th frame. He'll shoot 194. That'll force Michael Haugen Jr. to get the first strike in the 10th and good count. But with all the splits that we've seen, anything can happen. Right now, Todd Book, all he wants to do is step up and throw 3 in the 10th and make his opponent finish him in the 10th frame.
Todd told us last night, grew up watching Marshall Holman and Mark Roth, 2 legends of the game, who had plenty of situations just like this. Needing strikes in the 10th. Can he come through? Yep. Yes. There's one.
Heck of a shot for the 4-year Navy veteran. He said he was in Desert Shield and Desert Storm. He visited 10 different countries. His favorite place of all, besides the U.S., Venice, Italy. Right now, he's looking for one more here, and then keep the ball on the lane. That forces Haugen to throw the first one in the 10th.
Come on. Yes! Yes!
All 10 down for Book.
If I was Todd Book right now, I'd take my spare ball out and I'd throw it right down the middle of the lane and not risk having that ball go in the gutter. He's doing just that. Watch this. He knows all he needs is count. Smart play there.
And he'll get 8, which is what he wanted. Puts the pressure now on Michael Haugen Jr., who will step up in the 10th with a chance. Get himself into the finals.
This has been his tough lane. He's got 2 splits on this right lane.
That's what he needs to take this one, and then he'll battle winner West Malott, Chris Barnes, if he's successful.
Yeah!
Got it.
A little hard and firmer. Take it right out of play.
You heard him say harder and firmer. That's what straight guys do. The guys that throw the ball straight, when they need one, they amp it up and have the ball just stay there and hold line to the pocket.
Come on, Mike. That's want to make it interesting.
Well, he's done that.
You saw he needed to strike an 8. He went right at the head pin there without a hook to get a big count.
He needs one of these pins. Boy, that could have been disaster. He could have got 5 on that shot.
Pretty sure I got one of them, guys.
Yeah, he did that. And he does wrap up the match.
Good ball. It's hard ball. It's hard.
It wasn't easy. Todd Book's TV debut comes to a close with a loss in the semifinals to Michael Haugen Jr. Is number 200 the lucky event for Michael Haugen, looking for his first ever title, our CLR clean sweep.
First shot in attempt, he needs it to win. There it is.
Yeah! A little hard and firmer.
He goes to the title match.
This week's CLR clean sweep. A win for Michael Haugen Jr. He'll now take on the victor of that guy, Chris Barnes, against Wes Malott. Two of the superstars on the Denny's PBA Tour. Second semifinal is underway. Hello and special thanks to Spiro Batistatos, President and CEO of Lake County CVB. A great host here in suburban Chicago. Monday Night Football on ESPN continues. Thin air of Invesco Field, Mile High City. In Denver, Vince Young leads the Titans to take on Jay Cutler and the Broncos. Monday Night Football on ESPN, 8:30 Eastern Time. Coverage starts at 7 Eastern with Monday Night Countdown. Jay Cutler's alma mater, Vanderbilt, came so close yesterday. College football lost to Tennessee. The last-second field goal was just wide by the Commodores. Sure he's bummed about that. Dave, Randy, the entire crew. Great to have you with us from Merrillville, Indiana. This very bowling center housed the Tour Trials in June, won by Todd Book, who made the show, but lost to Michael Haugen Jr. This is the second semifinal. That's Barnes and a 4-pin, and Randy, he liked that one.
Can't get his ball to face up the pocket the right way on the right lane. 4-pin, 4-pin, 4-pin. Can't get it to lay off. Watch this. On the left lane, he can get it to kind of hook and then stop.
Single pin spare converted by Chris Barnes. Let's take a look at this week's oil pattern. Chris, as frustrated as we've ever seen him on TV. They've made so many appearances. Our lumber liquidators know the wood. Randy, what do you think?
Well, the chameleon pattern, 39 feet of oil, but we're on wood this week, and a lot of friction's created. Remember, we talked about that track area. That's where most amateurs and league players bowl, and they wear an area from about the 7 or 8 board all the way to about the 12th board. You see the players are playing on either side of that.
Our boys at 7-10 takes them both down, all 10 down to the pit there. For Chris Barnes strikes him his 7th. Next week marks the 3rd annual Chris Barnes Thanksgiving event in the Dallas area, offering scholarships to 1 out of every 10 bowlers who participate. Takes place November 21st and the 23rd through the 25th. AMF Showplace Lanes in Euless, Texas, in the Metroplex area, sponsored by Denny's and Columbia 300. $1,500 scholarship guaranteed to the top bowler in each of the 2 high school divisions. So we wish Chris and his wife Linda all the luck in getting that event together next week coming up. Wes pleased with his break there.
His bowling ball's making the lane or the oil pattern look easy as Wes Malott's going to adjust tape. But it's just amazing how the other players have really struggled to throw strikes. Wes Malott's going at a 279 pace right now. If he were to strike out, it's amazing what he can do at times where other players can't even get close to it.
Wes coming off a dream season, 6 TV shows as he makes his equipment adjustment here. Tied with Chris Barnes for the Tour Best, won the points title for the first time in his career. He told us today before the show the confidence that was built up from last season's success will carry over for years to come. That really built a foundation for him. Creating shots just like that one.
It's child's play.
50-pin lead.
I mean, he makes it look so easy. He doesn't even have a react after that last shot that pretty much put the match away.
4-bagger for Wes. Barnes works on a strike 8th frame, but in a massive hole now. Wife Linda, great bowler herself, who's recently back from Russia, competing in a World Cup event. Twins Ryan and Troy watching in Dallas today. Hoping to see Dad win his 9th career title. Doesn't look like it'll happen, though. 52nd TV appearance. Well, Randy, now he's found a look.
Well, he's had it on that lane. He finally strikes on the right lane. He was really one trip 4 away from being in this match and putting some pressure on Wes Malott. But, you know, you put Chris in the first match against either Michael Haugen Jr. or Todd Book, and Chris wins the match. He just ran into
the Kraken.
the Kraken
at the wrong time. You see the note there on Wes's recent TV appearances? Calls for it to hook. Yes, it does.
The other thing, Dave, is that when his ball hits the pocket, it strikes. He left that one ring in 10 in the 4th frame, and everything else just has no chance.
What kind of adjustments is he making with his hand there?
Well, he uses a lot of rosin, and you know, that shot that he threw in the 8th frame, that was right after he retaped, added a piece of tape in his thumb hole, and he still pured it. I mean, he's just making the lanes look like they're bowling on the cheetah pattern.
Even Chris Barnes has got to applaud that. As Wes Malott is easily through to the final. We'll take on Michael Haugen Jr. in the championship after we have our women's final, which is coming up today. Women's series continuing here on our ESPN coverage of the Denny's PBA Tour. Joy Esterson will take on Liz Johnson. That's next. There's a 10-pin for Wes. Now, Randy, Wes told us before the tournament final here today that he's won 2 titles, but he's now in his 13th TV appearance. He doesn't want to get in a situation where he makes a lot of shows but doesn't
Jordan,
win.
give me some thumbs up at home, buddy. That's awesome.
He's talking to his young son at home. Jordan is 4 years old.
That would have made the 7-10 split.
There you go. You're right.
What's up, buddy? Take it on.
You're going to see more of Mr. Barnes, though. He's throwing it as good as he's been throwing it in a long, long time. He says he's really feeling it week in and week out. It doesn't matter what pattern they put out. Chris is a great bowler. Don't kid yourself. He's had some trouble spots on television. But you know what? He did make a good point. He did win 2 Motel 6 Road to Riches for about $400,000. That's equivalent to about 10 titles. So you're going to see a lot more of Chris Barnes. He's just too good.
2 major championships as well. The 62nd U.S. Open in New Jersey, the 06 Tournament of Champions in Connecticut, and those 2 big Roller Riches titles.
That's a 0. Thank you.
So another very good week for Chris Barnes, getting all the way to the TV show in the semifinals. But the run will end.
Thanks.
Wes Malott will take on Michael Haugen Jr. for the title today. Will Haugen Jr. win his first ever championship? Or will it be the first of the season for Wes Malott? Bidding for his 3rd career title. The women's final is coming up here on ESPN. Joy Esterson will take on Liz Johnson, who's had a tremendous career, professional and Team USA level with international competition. Joy Esterson makes her first professional women's TV appearance when we return. The Lake County Indiana Classic is brought to you by Bear. The more you know, the more you trust Bear. By Prescription Flomax. By CLR. CLR, all kinds of dirty, one kind of clean. And by the United States Bowling Congress, ensuring the integrity and protecting the future of the sport of bowling. Bowl with us. Next summer, visit the South Shore. Enjoy a day at the dunes or in the waters of Lake Michigan. The Indiana Dunes National Lake Shore stretches 25 miles on the southern border of Lake Michigan, a perfect place to walk miles of beaches and bask in the sun. For more, log on to LakeCountyCBB.com. Well, to come back here, Randy, when the weather's a little bit warmer in the summertime and enjoy the great outdoors in this part of the state. Lake County Indiana Classic Women's Series Championship Joy Esterson takes on Liz Johnson. This is the third of 4 events, Randy, in the women's series. A great chance for bowlers like Joy, who have never been on TV professionally, to make their mark in the sport.
It really is. A lot of the gals that are bowling this series, they got a lot of experience by bowling PBA Experience Leagues. They could bowl on all of the different patterns.
Seasoned pro. Liz Johnson. Perfect start from Cheektowaga, New York, outside of Buffalo. Through A Lanes, the site of last week's event. We had 2 winners. Shannon Plahowski won the women's series event, Mike Wolf on the men's side. That was the home bowling center of Liz Johnson growing up. Here's Joy Esterson from Annapolis, Maryland. Her grandfather was in the Navy. That's why the family moved there and stayed in that area. Great shot for her.
Just a little, I'm sorry, Dave, just a little nugget on Joy Esterson last week in Buffalo. In qualifying, first 3 games, she shoots 289, 279, 279, 847. After qualifying, her qualifying score was higher than the guys' qualifying score. She beat all the guys. So she can't strike.
Look at the numbers.
Don't kid yourself.
Last week.
And this week allowed her to do what she does best, and that's go straight, and that's why you see Liz Johnson. Liz Johnson loves to throw it down and in.
Not in the pocket on that shot on that lane, though, and a 7-pin count for Joy, who won 2 NCAA titles at Morehead State in Kentucky in 2000 and 2002.
Said she's going back to school to study forensic science. Like to be a crime scene investigator.
Yeah, CSI. Miss Fairball takes care of the 3-pin. She does have a business administration degree from Morehead State and worked in management, local newspaper, out of college. Didn't like that much. Wanted, of course, to be a professional bowler. The year she graduated from Morehead State and Liz Johnson was on the tour, the women's tour folded, ending the dream for a lot of female bowlers. 4-pin.
Liz Johnson won the Women's U.S. Open in October, and when we spoke to her last night, she said, you know, that was great. That was my second U.S. Open win, but nothing matched what she did when she made the TV show and bowled against Tommy Jones for the title a couple of seasons ago. She says that was her biggest bowling thrill ever.
There's the 4-pin. It was against Tommy Jones in the final, Grand Rapids, Michigan. She became the first woman ever to make a championship appearance on the Denny's PBA Tour event in history. And there you see it. She knocked off Wes Malott in the final today. Liz told us this morning she still gets chills when she talks about it. And yes, she's asked about it about every day from somewhere in her travels when she's on the road competing. When she's at the Pro-Am, someone will ask her about that experience in 2005, and she said, as you mentioned, it's the highlight of my life so far in terms of bowling.
It's the one thing that'll live on forever. The first female ever to make a TV show, and came very close to taking down Tommy Jones.
A lot of experience winning for Joy. Great shot, all 10 down for Joy. As we check out the matchup today, Joy Esterson from Annapolis, Maryland, head-to-head with one of the great bowlers from Buffalo. So many in the men's and women's side, Liz Johnson.
Well, Liz Johnson got into a nice battle with Carolyn Doran Ballard in the round of 4 to make television. She took Carolyn all the way to Game 7 and finally beat her. And Joy defeated Kelly Kulik, who was an exempt player all season last season.
Kelly Kulik, also an alum of Morehead State. And as Joy told us this morning, for the national championship in 2002, she was the anchor bowler in the Baker format, the last bowler up there against Wichita State. Needed to strike in the 10th for a national championship. She did it. Who was the TV commentator that day? Chris Barnes, who was held in Buffalo. Who was watching that day? Liz Johnson. So everyone kind of coming full circle here today in Indiana as Joy goes for a title. It does it. Great shot, Liz Johnson.
Liz, a big baseball fan, has 5 cats very close to her family at home, and still bowls league with three of her best friends the last 14 years. Sue Jeziworski, we call her Sue Jetski because that's much easier to say. Sue Navorsky, it's actually Jack Jurek, a touring player out here, his girlfriend, and Michelle Sterner. The girls have been going at it for the last 14 years there in Cheektowaga Bowling League together.
Late hit.
Come on.
She'll take the strike and retains the lead in a tight match here with Joy Esterson. With that 5, the paralyzer wiggled for a second there, and down it went.
Liz hasn't finished lower than 5th in the women's series.
She's been outstanding. Really jumped at the chance when the women's series was announced this year. Brand new idea on the Denny's PBA Tour. Wow, high flush strike. Joy Esterson dialed in to even up the match here. They're going for $10,000 and the women's series championship in Merrillville. Turkey now for Joy. Same for Liz.
It's all tied up. Pretty good match here. Joy is showing some good stuff here. First ever live telecast.
Oh, come on. Roll it.
Whoa. Avoids the bucket, but still just a 7-pin count on a shot that's way out of the pocket.
Well, it's just a little light here, and you know, her forte is going straight. And when she misses a little bit to the right or misses it just a little bit off her hand, she doesn't have enough power or rotation to get the ball back in the pocket. That's what happened there.
The multi-pin numbers, can she pick it up? Yes. Critical mark there for Joy Esterson. Her first TV appearance in more than 5 years when she won a national title in Buffalo from Morehead State. Head-to-head with Liz Johnson, who spent a year at Morehead State as well. So the two alums from that school are going head-to-head today. This is the third of 4 PBA Women's Series events. Today's special mini tour is sponsored by the United States Bowling Congress, the USBC. The PWBA folded in 2003. Women no longer had a chance to compete full-time. Now they can on this new mini series. If you think you have what it takes to be a PBA member, head to PBA.com. Take advantage of a brand new membership promotion. The promotion runs through the end of February and features free initiation or reinstatement fees. For all the details, click on the Join PBA link on the tour's homepage, PBA.com. Great match here, women's final. Joy Esterson from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the Naval Academy. One of the prettiest towns in America, I'm telling you. Great place. It's Liz Johnson from Buffalo. One of the great bowling towns in America. 10-pin.
Good shot.
For the Buffalonian.
Buffalonian?
Sure.
Are you sure that's what they...
I think so.
That's what they say there? All right.
Check that with Liz, but I'm pretty sure it's right.
6-pin goes around. The 10, really good shot there. She wanted that because she knew she could take a big lead, keep that string alive.
Woo.
Covers the 10 nicely. Liz Johnson says she goes to the gym when she's at home religiously. Having her legs in really good shape is a must for her style and her game. Creates power and leverage, bottom of the swing. But I don't need to tell you that, Dave.
She'll test that power and leverage on the road, going to Japan for an international women's stop event, December 5th through the 12th. She has competed in Argentina, Mexico, Malaysia for Team USA, won a world championship in Malaysia in '94.
Push.
10-pin. Won an event in Germany over the summer. So extensive international experience for a bowler like Liz Johnson.
Another really good shot, and unfortunately another ring and 10. She gets it in just a pinch, but off her hand, really good. That's what helps hold the ball on line. Goes to a plastic spare ball, straight and fast, right at the 10-pin.
Well, Liz did win 11 titles on the PWBA Tour, including the '96 Women's U.S. Open. And you ask a lot of the female star bowlers, Randy, about where they were when they heard their tour was closing. Liz at the top of her game. I mean, a chance to be Hall of Fame level bowler in the PWBA, but now another chance for them to compete nationally.
Yeah, we need women's professional bowling on television. And Thank you to USBC and the TVA for stepping up to the plate and getting the women back on television. Digitrack numbers for you. Really, the only difference in where the girls are playing is ball speed. Both women are playing around the 8th, 9th board, 7th to 8th board at the break point. But the difference, Joy's ball speed, 17 miles an hour. Liz Johnson, she's up at 20 miles an hour.
Oh, come on.
This is the pocket, going for the double, 8th frame.
She just said that lane's tighter. She needs to make maybe a little bit of an adjustment on that lane, but the last couple of shots for her on the left lane, both have gone light, 2, 4, 5, and now only the 2-pin. She's only missed one single pin spare all week.
Keeps the numbers up and keeps the pressure on Liz Johnson. We got a good finish here, folks, in this women's series event, 3rd of 4 on the year.
If I'm Liz Johnson, I'm feeling very comfortable and very confident right now because she has not missed the pocket, and she knows her is struggling on the left lane, and Joy has to finish the match on the left lane.
Flat.
7-pin stands.
Yeah, that's just a bad break. Last 3 shots should have been strikes. She goes 10-pin, 10-pin, and then blower 7. Just quality shot making. Liz Johnson's a great, great bowler. Make no mistake about it. She's bowling on wood, high friction surface. She likes to throw it hard. She throws the ball straight. She gets to play out on this pattern. She's making great shots.
Single pin conversion for Liz. As you mentioned, won the USBC Women's Open this year after a 3-year absence. That event was held at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno. Got by Shannon O'Keefe, 248-215 in the finals. So after this event, the Women's Series will take next week off. Vernon Hills, Illinois. Even closer than Chicago than we are now. And the final event, Wyoming, Michigan. Greater Grand Rapids. That'll wrap up the Women's Series for this year.
They get Thanksgiving off, we don't.
Four pin. Another good shot.
Now she runs the risk of possibly losing this match. If she spares here, which we're going to give her this 4-pin conversion, she strikes out, she'll shoot 226. Joy Esterson can strike out 9th and 10th to shoot 237. If Joy goes 9 spare here in the 9th frame and strikes out, we have a possibility of a tie. So it's going to come down to the 9th and 10th frame. She struck every ball in this right lane. Joy has. It's the left lane that's given her a bit of a problem.
Four pin for Joy. Another good-looking shot. She liked that one.
Well, now we have the possibility of a tie. Spare here, 3 in the 10th, 226. Liz Johnson, 3 in the 10th, 226. Liz knows the score. But again, Joy's been a little shaky on the left lane. Remember, the last time she was on the left lane, she made the comment, this lane's getting tighter, which means the ball's not hooking as much. Let's see what kind of adjustment she makes on the right lane, or excuse me, on the left lane.
On these lanes can really transition, especially late, especially after 2 men's matches,
especially on wood.
The TV lights affect the way it affects the ball as well. Late tap on number 10, and down it goes. Big shot. Joy Esterson gets the first of the 10.
Watch the little love tap. 6-pin go to the sidewall here. Oh, come on. Oh, there you go. Just enough. This pin's about 3.6, 3.7 ounces a piece. Just a little bit of bump there, and that 10 goes down. One more puts her in the 220s. Brian. One more strike, and she knows she cannot lose the match. She can only tie it. Gutsy performance, especially when she lost that right lane. She makes an adjustment and takes advantage of the fact that Liz Johnson did not carry. Ebonite Digitrax tells us that she moved 2 boards to the right at the arrows. That's the adjustment that she made.
Looks for another. Gets it. All the fire is wiggling, and down it went. 3 in the 10th. 2:26 for Joy Esterson, and the pressure is on Liz Johnson. And Joy stepped up the last time she was on TV for a national championship. That was 5 years ago. She hasn't been on television since.
What a great performance for somebody who's never made television
I
before.
tell you, Liz is very familiar with big moments like these. You saw what you needed. Got to have them all. There's one.
Anything less than 2 more strikes, and Joy Esterson will win.
Blasting back all 10 pins. Saw tremendous ball speed there from Liz Johnson. Pins had no chance.
A little bit of carry. Liz could have bowled a really big game this game. She's up to 4 pin, 10 pin, 10 pin, 7 pin, and 4 pin. Every ball in the pocket.
Push.
2.
She went with a heater there, Ricky.
Fastball.
That's the thing about straight players, man. When they need a hit, I used to love watching Dave Ferraro and Tony Westlake, 2 of the straighter guys on tour. Man, when they needed one, they just took it up a couple of notches and fired it right at the 1-3. Never got into trouble. Dave Ferraro, by the way, Hall of Famer. Gotta have it.
Yes! We've got a tie, baby. 3 in a row, and a roll-off coming for the women's championship here in Merrillville, Indiana. Talk about stepping up to the plate. Liz Johnson needed 3, got him.
Come on, this doesn't put the ladies back on tour. Come on.
And our tournament director, Kirk Von Kruger, will tell us about the roll-off situation, the rules, and what we can expect here.
Ladies and gentlemen, by PBA rule, all tie games must be broken by a 1-ball sudden death roll-off. The higher seed, in this case, Joy Esterson, will have choice of starting lane and order. If they should both knock down the same number of pins, they'll move over to the other lane in the same order and continue back and forth until the tie is broken. Joy? Joy is elected to start on the left lane.
Okay, Kirk, thank you. And here we go. Higher seeded choice of lane and order, as Kirk, our tournament director, told us a moment ago. 1 shot. It's essentially the best ball. We could have several sudden death roll-off rounds if they match each other. Joy starts and puts the pressure on Liz. Liz has to strike here or Joy wins.
Joy Esterson and Liz Johnson are putting women's professional bowling back on the map right now.
Liz had 3 in the 10th to tie. How about this one? Not quite. It's light. A 7-pin count. And Joy wins it. Joy Esterson's first ever appearance on national TV as a professional ends up with a trophy and a $10,000 first place prize. Congratulations to her, and what a matchup with Liz Johnson. Fun to watch into the roll-off today. Still to come, the men's final. Michael Haugen Jr. goes for his first ever title. The way Joy just did, she went. set for the men's final. Michael Haugen Jr. will take on Wes Malott. The winner takes home $25,000 and a one-season exemption on the Denny's PBA Tour. Hello, special thanks to Todd, Vice President, Stardust Bowl. Todd and his staff doing a fabulous job in hosting us and the Denny's PBA Tour bowlers all week long here in suburban Chicago. We're headed just about 40 miles north of where we are here, just outside Chicago, Vernon Hills, Illinois. CLR Windy City Classic next Sunday here on ESPN. 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Defending champ was Wes Malott, who won that emotional tournament Thanksgiving week a year ago with his son Jordan not feeling well in the hospital.
Geico Championship recap, semifinal number 1. Michael Haugen Jr. defeated Todd by the score of 194 to 192. Haugen gets the first hit and attempt to win. And semifinal number 2, Wes Malott, the Kraken. He defeats Chris Barnes by the score of 268 to 228. Setting up a great championship match for the 2007 Lake County Classic.
This week's Geico Championship recap. We've already crowned one champion. Joy Esterson, the women's side, won. Who will win the men's title? Will it be Michael Haugen Jr. for his first ever championship, or Wes Malott for his third? We are set. Men's championship match. Lake County, Indiana Classic, presented by the United Way. Dave, Randy, our entire crew. Glad to have you with us here from northern Indiana, not far from Chicago. 65 miles to Sears Tower from here. Michael Haugen Jr., Wes Malott in the finals. They have never met on TV. Wes Malott has not won since nearly exactly a year ago. Vernon Hills nearby. Great start for Big Wes. And Randy, I'm always interested to see how bowlers respond. There was a match between Wes's semifinal and now the final. Michael Haugen bowled 2 matches ago. The lanes have changed.
Well, let me just put it to you this way. Wes Malott, he puts the asty in nasty. Isn't that the ball he gave away to that young man in the first match?
It looked like it. I wonder if he did take it back. Let me find that out.
That Indian Gabbard, look at him. He's like, hey, wait, where's my ball?
I'm sure he'll get it back at the end of the day.
Well, he better. You see to it, Dave. Yeah.
Okay, so there it is. That was in the first match. The young man looked so surprised and happy. That's a real ball for Michael Haugen Jr.
Oh, wait a minute now. He's using 2 different balls?
Yeah, he's changed here for this lane.
This is the one he used in the last match.
Oh, that's bad.
That's left. And holds.
Can't let me get away with that.
That left lane's created a hold spot.
Unbelievable. That was a nice little shimmy, huh, Carmen? You like that? Oh,
Talking
right
to
there, baby.
bowling legend Carmen Salvino in the first row. He's from Chicago.
That's unbelievable. They don't let you get down.
Way not long after that last year. Now he says he's dedicating them to himself. This is winning on the tour.
The last thing you wanted to see was a pocket 710 standing.
There we go.
There's the 7-pin.
30th
on the tour a year ago to earn his exemption. Wes Malott won the points tour a year ago and a title. Which bowler takes home the Lake County Indiana Classic? We find out next. Mitch from the dunes nearby Lake Michigan, some 25 miles of state park waterfront. But it's beautiful right time of the year. 4th frame, Wes Malott down 19. CLR clean sweep. Randy, got to go back to the women's championship. We saw today Joy Esterson in the roll-off comes through.
She gets the first strike, forces Liz Johnson to strike. Liz does not. Championship is Joy Esterson's.
First ever professional TV appearance for Joy ends up in victory. Wes Malott makes his 13th professional appearance on television. Hoping for win number 3. In title matches, Not a lot of success so far. Hoping to change that today. Wow. Ringing 10-pin.
Solid 9, make the move, rep 10, always fun.
I don't think I really need to tell you what happened. He just did.
West bowler win.
Wes Malott looking to become the first number 32 seed to win a title in single elimination match play format. There's been 2 others that have had a shot at it. Brian Himmler last season at the Earl Anthony Medford Classic, and Jim Pratt, 05 Baby Ruth. And again, I said it before, it looks like about the only thing that's going to beat Wes Malott today is bad pin carry. Leaves a solid 9. The logical move off of that is a couple of boards left with your feet. Create a little bit more angle to get the ball to hook a little bit later into the pocket. And he does that, comes back with a ringing 10-pin.
Yeah, baby, that's right.
Better looking shot there for Wes Malott from just outside Dallas.
Crap out of there. Rep 10, solid 9. Keep it.
It can get so frustrating for these highly technical bowlers that make their adjustments. There's the Flomax weekly update. 21st a week ago in suburban Buffalo. And in his 200th event, his career looks for his first ever title today.
Oh,
With shots like that,
a commercial break and everything.
it may just happen.
That was sweet kicking the 10 there.
Only Brian LeClaire with 259 events without a title. Amongst the exempt bowlers, more appearances, no championships. There's some pretty good talent out there. LeClaire has a great game. Of course, Joe Giaccone from the Buffalo area. We've seen a few times on TV. He's come close. Brian Kretzer and Jeff Carter, who made several appearances last year on television. Sometimes Randy Nova takes the breaks. Coming through at the big moments to win it.
Oh, that looks good. Come on. Oh,
He really liked it.
Oh, yeah.
Is this his day?
Give me 10 on that. Thank you. Oh, that was good. Come on now. Let's go. Right here, baby. AMF.
I'm sorry, Dave, did you say something? I'm watching Michael Haugen high-fiving the crowd and getting into it. Wes Malott's not real amused with that kind of stuff, and right now he's looking to get back in this match. Let's see if he can carry a hit on the right lane. There you go.
Really?
Yes, he can.
Ebonite Digitrax numbers. Ball speed identical for both Wes and Michael Haugen, 19.5 miles an hour. Michael Haugen, remember, he's going straight. He's right up the 8th board. His break point is the 8th board. That tells you how straight he's throwing it. Wes Malott, almost around the 3rd arrow, all the way out to the 4th board. That's a lot of angle. 2 different lines on the same oil pattern. PBA Experience Leagues, man, you can see it right there. Bowl PBA Experience Leagues. You get a little piece or a little taste of what these guys are doing right now.
With a turkey, Wes Malott
Get it, make him on it. That's all I ask.
cuts into the Haugen lead. Just 9 pins now from Michael Haugen Jr.
He's irritated.
Probably not a good idea to get the Kraken angry, is it?
I'm waiting. I'm not going to say that until he throws another 2 or 3 strikes on top of that 3-bagger he's got. Right now, Michael Haugen Jr., he can strike out and shoot 279, and he will win his first career title.
7th frame goes for his turkey as well. And a 19-pin
That
lead.
one right there.
Oh, there's a 10-pin. He liked it.
A little bit. That's all right. It was in.
He told us last night, of course, being in this area where he made the appearance last year in Hammond and finished 2nd in the Tour Trials after the 05-06 season in this very building, earned his exemption back. Yeah, he felt good coming in. A lot of confidence exuding from Michael Haugen Jr. Being back in this area, he likes it. There's a 10-pin, but Malott is in the match.
Semifinal number 1, 6 of 11 strikes. Right now, this match, Haugen has only missed twice. It's in the 220s right now. Can strike out for 258. Rut-row, Raggy. Rut-row.
Well, Scooby, he avoided the split. That's a good thing for Michael.
Bad thing is now all of a sudden you've let the Kraken back in by not striking. This ball here could have been a big split. He gets nice break there, only leaving the 4-pin. But all of a sudden now things are starting to look a little bit brighter in the West Malott camp.
Oh, Mike.
Well, Randy, you said it before that.
Can't do that.
Pair of frames for Michael Haugen Jr. Chance to strike out and put a lot of pressure on West Malott. Now all of a sudden the lead, which was just 19 a moment ago, shrinks to 7 pins. And Wes goes for the 4-bagger, 8th frame. Did Haugen let Wes back in the match? That's the question.
Be right. Be right. Yes, sir. Be right.
Not yet. Not yet. But one more in the 9th, and I'll give it to you.
You'll bring out the Kraken again?
Oh,
We
yeah.
look forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
3-pin lead. Wes grabs the advantage.
Haugen best he can shoot 247. West Malott 260. Thanks to statistician Mike Edwards. Those great numbers.
One time for Jordan. One time for Jordan, baby. Yes, sir.
For his young son, back home in Dallas, who's 4 years old.
The Kraken rears his ugly head.
We were waiting, and there it was.
Sets up the 10th frame now. West Malott can shoot 260. Best Michael Haugen Jr. can shoot 247. That shot there in the 9th frame, huge.
5-bagger for West Malott. Foundation frame, Michael Haugen Jr. needs one.
About to hit right there.
Has him.
Haugen needs a double in the 10th frame to force West Malott to get the first strike in the 10th. The only glitch for West Malott has been the right lane where he's left a solid 9 and a ringing 10.
Mix it up like he did. Yeah. That's right. Come on now.
Michael Haugen's got to have the next hit to put the pressure back on West Malott. Right now he's in the 230s. West Malott's in the 230s as well with that 5-bagger. Strike here. You never know. Could be title number 1 for Michael Haugen Jr.
He's been at it so long. Trying in his 200th event to win his first title. Is this his day?
Oh, you got a jizz on that one.
He loved it. Crunches into the 1-3 pocket. And he takes the lead back with a great finish. Can he finish out here with his 3rd in the 10th and really apply the pressure to big West Malott of Dallas?
Count's almost irrelevant. That strike there forces West Malott to get the first one.
Leg tap number 10, down it goes.
Great finish, Michael Haugen Jr. West Malott needs a strike and 9 on the second shot to win.
That's what he needs. Michael Haugen on tour since 1994. Can he finally break through for a win? Or will big West Malott rip it from his grasp? 10 pin.
Michael Haugen Jr. wins his first title and knocks Kurt Pelon out of the Tournament of Champions.
He wins it on the bench. Finally, the long wait is over for Michael Haugen Jr. 13 years, 200 events, and he's got his championship.
Oh my God, I cannot believe it. Oh my God, I'm taking this now, Corey, I don't care. Whew. I might sleep with this baby tonight, I don't know. It is about time, thank you. Oh, Grandpa, we finally did it, Grandpa. 40 years, man, it's about time. I love you guys at home very much. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Lake County. Oh, man.
It's a shout out to his
what a day.
Grandpa Blackie watching back home, Huntington Beach, California, where Michael was born and raised.
Unbelievable.
Keep it.
His grandfather also of ill health, unfortunately, these days.
Great ball and enjoy time
But
with your
rooting him
family.
on.
Thank you so much.
And Michael Haugen Jr. can celebrate, finally.
Thank you.
He is a champion on the Denny's PBA Tour
Thank you.
for the first time.
Woo. Oh, man. Oh. It's everything I dreamed of and more. Dave,
Wes Malott gets up in the 10th, needs a strike, cures it. At the worst possible moment, leaves another ring in 10 on that right lane. Michael Haugen Jr. wins, sitting on the bench. Both guys bowled great games. Came down to 1 ball in 10.
I think I'm going to sleep for a week. Thanks, Jimmy. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again. Oh, man. I can't believe you're ring at 10. Thanks, Joy. Oh, thank you.
CLR Windy City Classic coming up on ESPN, 1 o'clock Eastern Time next week. We hope to see you there from Vernon Hills, Illinois. That's where Wes Malott won a year ago. Right now, time to celebrate for Michael Haugen Jr. For the first time in his career, waiting so long, he is
Jordan,
finally a champion on the Denny's PBA Tour.
There you
Congratulations to him. And to Joy Esterson, who wins in her first ever appearance. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. For the entire crew, and Randy Peterson, it's Dave Ryan saying so long.
I'm not going to need this one.
Bulls Tour next.